Do you ever wonder about the origin of things? I kind of do sometimes. I look at the origin of the church, and it's kind of like, how did this come to be, and how did it continue to go on for so long? I remember learning in some classes that there was a lot of things that helped the church grow that came into came into alignment at the time when Jesus died and everything was happening. So there was like great peace in the Roman Republic. There was great roads then, and so it was easy to get from one place to another for evangelists to travel. And there's a lot of other things that were going on. I remember that there was a lot of different factors. But there was also great persecution of the church and a lot of people against the message of Jesus. And so it's really a miracle that the church made it as far as it did even in those days, and now till today. Still, it's a miracle that the church has made it this far, especially because the church has not been it has not been immune to its own times of scandal of people who are not good, who have done bad things within the church, and people who have attacked from without of the church or from outside the church. But today in the book of the Acts of the Apostles, we hear about persecution happening after Stephen is killed. After he's the first martyr, he's killed in Jerusalem, and there's a severe persecution that breaks out. And so for most things that are this new, it would seem like this would be kind of the end of things, because it's scattering all the disciples to surrounding villages, to different parts of Israel. And yet it says that they continue on. It says that Philip goes down to Samaria. He proclaims Christ to them, and they paid attention, and they heard and saw the signs he was doing. There were unclean spirits that came out. Possessed people were cured, and many paralyzed and crippled people were also cured. There was great joy in that city, it says. There has to be a supernatural element to this. There's always been a supernatural element to the church. If not, then this would have been a really hard thing for people to continue to move on with and to labor on. And I think that the supernatural element is from the breath of the Holy Spirit within the church, continuing to guide the church, as well as the gift of Jesus himself in the church. He said he would always be with us even to the end of the age. And in our gospel today, we find out one of the ways that is most beautifully and most sacramentally the truth, that Jesus gives us himself as the bread of life. We hear from John 6 that Jesus says, "I am the bread of life," and this is the life-giving bread for the life of the world. And so this is the place where the church continues to draw her strength. We continue to return to that great sacrament in the Mass that gives us strength to go out and continue to be Christ in the world, to continue to spread the glory of his kingdom, to spread the message of the gospel. So have faith today that there's something bigger than us human beings at work within this church. Even though there can be times where there is scandal, when there are bad things that happen, we have to have faith that the Lord has it all in his hands, and it's him who guides the church. Let's ask him today for continued guidance in our own lives so that we might continue to be his disciples, fed by the Eucharist, and go out and proclaim the gospel to every creature.